There are girls who many call witches. Although they themselves are ordinary, they can wield slightly extraordinary powers. However, when calamity spreads throughout the land, witches begin to be feared and detested. Before long, the Church of Longinus commenced what would be known as the witch hunt. Witches are to blame for this calamity. If we kill them, then the calamity will vanish along with them. Witches are executed one by one. But one day, as madness seizes control of the world, it is suddenly overrun by curses. A country incinerated by hellfire, a kingdom consumed by crystals, an empire purged by the tree of life. Such are the woeful desires of those who are called witches of Clefa. Without any means to defend themselves, nation after nation falls into ruin, until finally, the fractured land is sent adrift high into the sky. Meanwhile, the people have yet to take notice. From within these girls cursed to be witches, there emanates glitters of hope. In order to save their decimated world, these girls set forth liberating the land from darkness, for they believe that it is the right thing to do. Memento Mori is an AFK RPG developed by Bank of Innovation Inc., a Japanese video game development studio founded in 2006. They made a variety of games before making Memento Mori, such as Knights of Excalibur, Pocket Knights, Genju Keiyaku Cryptact, and Mitrosphere. The first two games had EOS about 5 years ago and only released in Japan. So what makes Memento Mori stand out from all the other gachas out there, while still competing with the likes of Blue Archive, Fire Emblem Heroes, and even FGO? The game itself has been out for about a year and a half now, with varying success as you've seen. After all, with it being an idle game, there's almost no incentive to play, but that isn't necessarily the case. Let's dive into the specifics and understand what exactly makes Memento Mori feel unique. In contrast to other gachas out there, Memento Mori doesn't have an overarching story within it. You get a general gist as to the lore of the world from its first few cutscenes. However, the characters offer their own perspective into the world and the events leading up to the present. Therein lies one of Memento Mori's biggest strengths, its world building. Each character has 6 to 7 Bond stories diving into their own personal struggles within the world of Memento Mori. As you've heard from the prologue of this video, the world of Memento Mori is a pretty depressing tale of struggle, suffering, but also light at the end of each witch's story. You play as the Duke as you go around each of the continents, mitigating the destruction caused by the witches of Clefa. At the same time, you recruit abandoned witches to your side against the calamities standing before you. Each story is fully voiced in both English and Japanese for the full audio experience, as seen here.
Oh, you're petting me too much. Hey, Master, give me a hug.
Unforgivable. Those monsters won't get away with this. I will drag every last one of them into their fiery graves. This town, these people, this entire world. I will incinerate it all. Everything will burn!
Professor, what is this? Why do I feel... Professor? Hey, Professor? 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 Professor?
Additionally, Memento Mori offers pure watercolor style for everything within the game. From the maps, characters, and attacks, you're pushed into this beautiful yet corrupted landscape of water, swords, crystals, and even spirits. It's one of the best visually appealing games out there, and don't get me started on the music. The music is absolutely stunning, with each witch getting their own respective theme, which you could find online or in the in-game music player. A nice addition that they added during their 1-year anniversary. The song, like the characters, are dubbed in English or Japanese, so it's ultimately up to personal preference. Each song has a different tone, voice, and theme for the respective witch. The songs could be happy, sad, relaxing, intense, and so on. Here's a few of my personal favorites, as you'll hear here.
Hands me to the sky as a gentle rainbow stand. So the edge wrinkles into our spirits, a special romance. Meaningless fights, meaningless nights, only have these endless nights. That's what I want, nothing will do, whatever I'm under me. Ah, 引き金の重さだけが消えることなく指に残った音も絶えて
The fact that they're able to offer so much for a player's eyes and ears almost feels like they're almost giving it to you for free. But this is a gacha game at the end of the day, so let's talk about how everything works. Building your witches isn't as complicated as the game presents itself to you. A witch is divided by their attribute, class, stats, and weapon slots. There are 6 attributes and 3 classes respectively. These attributes are Azure, Crimson, Emerald, Amber, Radiance, and Chaos, while the classes are Warrior, Sniper, and Sorcerer. Let's take Florence here. She's an Azure Warrior type, indicated by the water symbol near her icon and the sword near her name. As you progress, you will unlock features to power up your witches. One such feature is the runes section in your weapons. These runes will provide a significant buff to your skills and basic attacks, such as ignoring defense or increasing your overall attack. These runes could also be used in tandem with the class, as these classes offer other buffs to other stats when you focus on them. For sorcerers, focusing on magic runes will boost their attack, magic defense, and debuff accuracy. You can only equip one type of rune per weapon slot with a max of 4. Weapons are divided into 6 sections with their main weapon, necklace, gloves, helmet, chest piece, and boots. Each weapon can be upgraded, boosting their stats, augmenting their properties, or enhanced to higher tier or equip runes to them. That's the general gist of it, but be sure to explore each option, as not every character is going to be built the same. The gameplay itself follows a straightforward formula when it comes to the combat. When you challenge a battle, you create a team of 5 different witches. Some witches have inherent abilities that rely on their positioning, or abilities that target what's directly across from them in terms of position. For example, the witch Primavera has her skill, Transcendent Melody, to attack and have a chance of inflict fainted on an enemy directly across from her. Positioning is very important in some, if not all cases, when it comes to team building, so be wary. As for actual combat, it's an auto battle, so all the skills and thinking are all done automatically. Battles are usually over by the end of the second turn. It's that fast. Turn order is decided by the speed stat for each character, and there's ways to increase or decrease a witch's speed, which can change the turn order in real time. Think of it how speed works in modern Pokemon, where using a move that changes speed can change the entire turn order going forward. There's an option to increase the speed up to 4 times or outright skip the battle. There's no penalty for battling, but some changes require some out-of-the-box team compositions or spamming the battle again button until the RNG is in your favor. As I mentioned, this is an AFK RPG, so rewards accumulate even when you're offline to get the resources you need to level up and try again another day. Aside from the main quest, there's a variety of other modes available to discover and try out for yourself. In the trial section, there are various battle modes to try your hands at. In Cape of Spacetime, it's a 48-hour roguelike mode. You climb 3 different dungeons and obtain different buffs for your team as you climb. You can earn resources and diamonds, so there's no reason to skip out on them. Recently, they added a function to skip the first 2 floors and obtain random blessings, which is a great change in my experience. Next is the Battle League, which is a way to test your units against real opponents. You get 5 daily battles where you have to pay diamonds to refresh with no cooldown timer. The biggest mode found in this section is the Tower of Infinity. It's a tower of hundreds of floors crafted with teams of witches to defeat. You can challenge the Tower of Infinity anytime for rewards, but there are these special colored towers. These towers only allow teams of that respective color, so they can be seen as much more difficult, but with 10 completed attempts a day, it's easy to whittle it down. Note that these towers being open change depending on the day. Moving away from the trial section is the guild section. By signing up to a guild, you're able to participate in guild activities and earn rewards for everyone in the guild. There are guild raids that allow a way to accumulate rewards based on how much damage you're able to inflict in a set number of turns. Guild and Grand Battle are guild-based events where you can battle against the top teams of your respective server, holding your respective bases to earn guild award dailies, so be sure to coordinate with them whenever you can. I won't sugarcoat, there are some obvious flaws hidden within what I mentioned to you thus far. I want to be upfront with you all so you have an idea as to what you're getting into. The story itself is near non-existent. The lore is within the characters exclusively and the countries you travel to, so it leads the main quest quite dry except for progressing to unlock more features within the game, which is a shame since the lore that is uncovered is super compelling. The roadblocks found within the main quest are very apparent and near impossible at first. It's like the game is telling you to stop by throwing a combination of the most annoying teams your way and obliterating your strategies. So much so, if you were to do a couple of attempts a day, it would take 50 plus attempts and you still would not be able to pass the stage. Your pity of 100 doesn't carry over to banner, so when you save your 3k diamonds for a multi and you don't get the 1.26% chance, you gotta save up once more. It's so irksome that I'd rather save an extra 2k to summon the witch I want on a more expensive banner for a 2% chance, and pity that carries over. I can't remember the last time I summoned on the 3k banner since I unlocked the 5k banner. The guild times, at least for America, can be so draining. For context, Guild Wars happens at 11:30 p.m. EST and 12:30 a.m. EST. So if you want to help your guild, you gotta cut into your sleep a little bit and forget about the European players. Definitely needs an adjustment rather than centering to the Asian player base. The final concern is when you're summoning. The diamonds and tickets you receive don't work simultaneously. What I mean by this is, normally for gachas, say the banner costs 3k currency to summon on. You have 5 tickets that are 300 currency each, so 1500, and 1500 summon currency on your account. But the game won't allow you to convert the currency to tickets and summon, which is really weird, especially for Memento Mori. You either have the diamonds or tickets, or you don't summon at all, so it's so out of place. Despite all those negatives I listed, I still genuinely love the game and how unique it presents itself. A watercolor style is something that really pushes the character art and countries they reside in. The stories from the Khalifa witches are the ones I look forward to the most, as they're the most directly involved with the crisis and can speak from experience with their corruption. Each character feels different from each other, from voice, battle style, and art direction. For example, a pessimistic older sister who endured torture so her younger sister could escape during the witch hunt, an abandoned girl who was soon branded a thief by those she thought she could trust, and the first Khalifa witch who couldn't endure her own corruption and started the witch hunt from the church to create more Khalifa witches. The battle system is repetitive, but it allows for the battles to be completed at a quick pace. As a result, the dailies are easily completed within a max of 5 minutes, so you can easily do your dailies and leave to gain a sizable amount of currency to progress later. The guild system feels actively engaging and allows for the guild to communicate as one controlled unit, while also delivering rewards for everyone. In addition, the main Discord is very welcoming to new players with various guides, veteran players, marks on the difficult stages, and much more. I hope you learned something about Memento Mori, and I'm always welcome to answer your questions in the comments below. Bye now!